use the PPT. Right. Very good afternoon, all of you. Are we back? Great. I know all of you are full of anxiety or relaxed. Anxiety is there. It's but natural, right? So the topic that I'll be doing with you today is art of conversation in an interview. Okay. Is it important? Is art of conversation important? Yeah, it's a very, very good, making a first impression. I'll give you a real example before I start. Last benches, are we ready to start? Sure, we'll wait for you. Okay, so I'll just share an example. Last week I was taking interviews in one of the B schools for admissions. Admissions means students who wanted to take admission in that particular B school, a very well-known B school in Pune. So I was one of the panelists, right? So I had two candidates. One of them had very good content knowledge, academically very strong, right? And because his marks were 9 CGPA, 90% throughout, excellent. And his interview with me lasted for less than 5 minutes. On the other hand, there was one boy, believe me, he was sitting in a place which had a lot of background noise. So he put on those headphones, which were voice cancelling headphones. And his interview went on for 25 minutes with a boy who had a score of 75 to 80%. So what do you think would have made a difference? What in art of conversation? Yeah. What in art of conversation? बातचीत तो दोनों ही कर रहे थे, वो फर्स्ट कैंडिडेट भी कर रहा था, सेकंड भी कर रहा था. What was the difference you think? Rapport building. Okay, he created such engaging stories for me that every time he was trying to get me into some new curious story where I was curious to know इसके बारे में ज़्यादा बताओ. So try to find out one hint, try to find out one interesting fact about you or your experience in life where you can create some curiosity and create that engagement. Can you think about something like that? I always give an example of your shows, TV shows, those Dance India dance shows, music shows. How do they engage and hook you? What is the technique they use? Emotional drama. Something like पहले मैं वैसा था, अब मैं ऐसा हो गया हूँ. And they show you that journey. Or they show the journey of a person who was very poor, belonging to a very middle class family and suddenly has transformed. Okay? Don't we get glued to it? Does the audience get glued to it? Glued, hypnotized to it? Yes. Same way, try to find out one such fact about you. It may not be a very tragic fact, it could be some happy fact also, but one interesting fact about you where you can create a very good conversation with the panelist. I'm giving you 1 minute, think about it, and then I'll continue with the next techniques. Everyone think about one interesting fact about you which you could share, which is not written on the CV, which is not written on the SOP that you are going to send them. Anything that has happened in school, college, work experience, internship, think of one interesting fact. About yourself, not about your neighbor. Ready? Just a minute, let others think. Okay, please.
Sahil. Pratham. Muskan. Neha Sharma. Apur Jain. Aditya Malik. Nikhil.
Okay, are we ready with an interesting fact? And then try to see how will you embed this interesting fact in the introduction.
Pratham Kumar,
How will you bring it up in the introduction? Think about it. You've thought about it, right? How will you bring it up in the introduction? How would you connect the dots? Yes. Some interesting fact about you. Ready? Others are ready? Some interesting fact about you, everyone? One fact is ready about you? One interesting fact about you. लिख लिया सबने? If I ask you about him, you will write 10 interesting facts, huh? It's about you, but okay, what I want you, we'll do a small demo here. Don't get scared, I'm not assessing you. We'll walk from there and come here because we are looking at everything, how to create a positive impression. And then we'll start with your introduction where you will embed this interesting fact. We have 2 mics. मेरी आवाज़ नहीं जा रही ना, इससे तो जाए, इससे भी जाएगी. Are we ready? Come. So please observe everything right from body language to everything, right? You can use the mic, please.
Good afternoon, ma'am. My name is Divya Agarwal.
Good afternoon, Divya. Please sit down. Yes, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good too. Okay, tell me something about yourself.
My name is Divya Agarwal. I hail from Chandigarh. Currently, I'm pursuing a BCom Honors degree from Kirodiman College, University of Delhi. I have had the unique opportunity due to the transferable nature of my father's job to travel a large majority portion of the country, as well as I have been to the country of New Zealand, where I got the unique opportunity to experience skydiving. That particular experience has inhibited a risk-taking capacity as well as a risk-taking attractiveness towards risk-taking in me, which has had a deep impact on the development of my personality.
Is it? Okay, so from how many feet high did you jump when you did skydiving?
I jumped from a height of 15,000 feet.
15,000 feet. All right, thank you. Did you observe something here? What hook did he give me? Skydiving. It's not written in the resume. And that can create an opportunity for the panelists to start the conversation. Definitely, if it is something different, the panelists will be curious. We'll ask you something relating to that. Okay, anyone else would like to have a small demo on it? Thank you. Anyone else? Come on. Yes. He seems to have a lot of interesting facts, huh? बाहर से आना है आपको. Take care of everything. The way you walk, the way you greet, your smile, all that is positive first impression.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please have a seat. Okay, what's your name?
My name is Aryan Singla.
Aryan Singla. Aryan. Okay, what does the word Aryan mean?
Aryan, it is basically a race from which we all belong.
And which race it is?
It's the Aryan race.
Aryan race. And okay. Dated which century? Do you remember?
I am not aware.
Dated which century? No. Can you name 3 great people from this civilization?
I can say Aryabhatta.
Aryabhatta was from Aryan civilization. Is it because the name is same?
No. He belonged from this region and all the people are from Aryan.
Aryan civilization. Okay, so what is one quality that is present in you which the Aryans had? Okay.
I'm not sure.
All right. So tell me something more about yourself.
Like I am currently a BBA final year student from SD College, and I can say that one particular quality about me would be that I am an avid traveler and also an investor.
Okay, so what is interesting? Sir, tell me something interesting fact about you.
Like I have been investing since around 5 to 6 years in various commodities, and and from the last 2 years I'm investing in the securities market.
Okay, how many stock markets are there in India?
The main are two, the NSE and BSE.
And how many companies are registered in both?
There are around 2 to 3,000.
In both Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange?
That I'm not sure.
Okay, what is Nifty? What is Nifty?
Nifty is basically the compilation of top 50 companies of the National Stock Exchange.
So how many companies are registered there?
In Nifty, the Nifty also has various indexes. The main index is the Nifty 50 index, in which there are 50 companies.
All right. And what about the commodity market? What is it called?
The commodity market has various commodities, like there are various exchanges. The major is the MCX, the multi-commodity exchange.
Okay, do you know any two ratios that we take into account while looking at the company's economic strength? Two ratios, any two ratios?
Like economic strength?
Yeah.
It would be like the P&L of the company.
Is it a ratio? I am asking you ratio.
I'm not.
You're not aware? Okay, what do you mean by technical analysis of a company?
In technical analysis, we basically see how the company is going around since last 4 to 5 years, and if it's a new company, then we would see how it's growing currently, its revenues, and how much losses it is making, and also even we would see its client base.
All right.
And also all the fundamental analysis basically.
So what's the difference between technical analysis and fundamental analysis?
Okay, so in technical analysis, we would see
What's the difference between technical and financial analysis?
financial or fundamental.
Fundamental analysis.
So in basically the technical analysis, we would see how the client base and all its products, its offerings. In fundamental analysis, we would see its whole analysis, like.
All right. Okay. Thank you. How did you feel?
Ma'am, at some time, like I was stuck.
Stand here. How did you feel when you were answering and when you said, I asked, what hook did he give me here?
Investing.
Avid traveler and
Investing.
the chances of asking questions on would be high, right? But there you have to be technically sound if you want. But this was still not an interesting hook for me. This was more of a technical hook for me. What is an interesting hook? Maybe you can create some story, like when I was, 2 years ago, I invested and I lost this much money. From there I learned something, or I gained a profit of this. That becomes an interesting hook, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Great, thank you. So this is very, very important, and you can start making a first impression from your introduction. Even if it is not an introduction, they started randomly, like what's the meaning of your name? Where did he get stuck? Where did he get stuck? Aryan Aryabhatta. Wonderful. So please read about it. Where everything about whatever possible about you. Okay. So now coming back to how do we create that positive first impression? What do you think are the measures that go into positive first impression? Body language. Do we agree? What else? Smile on the face. Very important to build that rapport. Second last. Are we there? Yeah. So first goes is your appearance. Okay, appearance very, very important. Please go as a student. You may have experience of n number of years, still you're going as an interview as a student. So present yourself as a student, be well groomed, dress according to the occasion. Very important. I take online interviews for many colleges, many B schools. The first thing that creates an impression for me is the candidate dressed appropriately for the interview or no. This just tells me how seriously he is taking that job. There was another student, because it was a virtual interview, he was sitting in the car and giving the interview to me. Very sound, fundamentals were very clear. I still did not shortlist him for that B school. Because if you're not serious about the occasion, what serious are you going to show when you start the course? So please, dressing is very important. After dressing comes your body language, your personality. Have basic mannerisms, basic curtsies like greet everyone with a smiling face. Sit down, ask them permission, please may I have a seat. Okay? Say thank you whenever they offer you something accordingly. Those are the basic formalities you will take care of. So that takes care of your appearance and body language. Smile in the interview.
I have a doubt. When the question arises, tell me about yourself. There are two ways to introduce ourselves. One is professional personality. We can showcase our professional personality. Second is, just like you said, give something interesting fact about your life. So now I was wondering, in my upcoming interview, should I begin with interesting life events or professional personality, which I already
Completely, that's completely up to you. But be careful, whatever you say, if you're cross-questioned, you should be able to answer. So you can put that in the beginning or you can put it in the end. If you think you can substantiate your answer, put it in the first part. That's where the audience attention is very high. The panelist attention is high. So जिसके बारे में आपको strongly पता है वो पहले बताओ. Right? Like an interesting fact, I would like to start myself with an interesting fact which has influenced me a lot, or which has impacted me, or which has shaped me today. Start with that. If you think you can have a backup reasoning for it. Right? Okay, moving on. Presentation. We'll see few videos too. Yeah. Some of you may have seen, but we'll do a different learning from each video. Next slide, please. Okay, next. So here, two things are important if you want to create a right first impression. And what are the two things? First, impression भी अच्छा देना है, लेकिन expectation भी set करनी है. अब इस केस में, आर्यन के केस में क्या हो गया? आर्यन के केस में क्या हुआ? इम्प्रेशन तो उसने ठीक दिया, ही वॉलंटियर्ड, ही केम हियर. एक्सपेक्टेशन सेट ठीक की उसने? नो, बिकॉज इट वेंट रॉन्ग फ्रॉम द आर्यन सिविलाइजेशन. इफ ही डिडंट नो, ही शुड हैव जस्ट सेड, सॉरी मैम, आई डोंट नो. It's perfectly okay to say. Unnecessary you start building expectation, बढ़ती जाती. I'm also interested in finance, and that's where the questions on finance started. So remember how much expectation to set. Don't throw everything to the panelist. Be very careful. Are we okay? Two things remember. One is impression with your body language, personality, and second, expectation setting. Okay, let's move on to the next slide, please. Okay. Why is this important? Why is art of conversation important? Who's taking your interview? Human beings. Artificial intelligence is not taking your interview. Human beings. And human beings are full of emotions. Right? Because they're full of emotions, they want you to build a good rapport with them. If I was an AI and I was taking the interview of the boy who sat in the car and gave me the interview, I probably could have, but I didn't. Because end of the day, I'm a human being, and that's the whole point of taking personal interview. Otherwise, they can just select you on the basis of your CAT scores and your essay writing scores. But they're meeting you because they want to know you face to face, understand what kind of person you are. So it's very, very important. So 5 things go into it. Positive first impression, expectation setting, be very clear. जितना आता है उतना बोलो. Don't open the Pandora box. And I'll show you one video of this boy who goes opening up everything without even asking. Okay? Understand your panelist. First 1 minute you will get an idea what kind of panelist is it. How many of you have done this? Gauge your panelist. Panelist को थोड़ा सा समझ लेना. You've done that? How has it helped you? And what do you do? Yeah.
But hard to gauge panelists, it's easier.
How?
This direction when they are trying to move the interview.
Yes, yes. Like I directly questioned him on every word that he was saying. So you get an idea. Second, the pace of the panelist. Is he fast? Is he slow? Is the panelist expecting elaborate answers or to the point answers? If he wants to the point answers, he'll keep cutting you. And if he is like he wants to elaborate, then he'll be very slow, laid back kind of. So know the panelist, accordingly decide what does he want. Just like a salesperson, when you go, you get to know. If there's a salesperson who keeps giving you a lot of information and you don't require, just tell him ki price batao, baki details mat batao. Okay, so understand your panelist, very important. Try to mirror the speed of speech of the panelist. If the panelist is too fast, be a little fast. If he's too slow, moderate your speech according to the panelist. That's very important. Alright. Next is, we'll be doing using smart move techniques. Smart move techniques would be when you know the answer, when you don't know the answer. Even when you know the answer, when should you not answer? We're going to do a little bit of this. And self-evaluation, identifying where you stand. Okay. Let's move on. Positive first impression. Basic soft skills. Basic soft skills. Just read the points, which include ABC, appearance, body language, communication. Voice is very, very important. What I see missing in all of you is voice modulation and structuring in your introduction. Nobody structures. Can anybody give me a small example? How will you structure your introduction? Anyone? Are you okay? Let's try with you. Are you okay? Would you like to try? So I'm just giving you a small demo, a rough demo of an introduction, and then we'll see the structured version of it. So there's a candidate who comes, first candidate A, he comes and says, "Good afternoon, sir. My name is Aryan." Sorry, Aryan, not this Aryan, okay? "My name is Aryan. I've completed my BTech from Thapar University. I am interested in sports, and of the sports, cricket is my favorite. I am a die-hard fan of Sachin Tendulkar, and I wish to make my career in the field of management." That's student number 1. इसमें से कितना याद रहा आपको? सिर्फ सचिन तेंदुलकर याद रहा. बाकी सब? बीटेक, मे बी, क्योंकि आप बीटेक हो, पता है इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं. 2 ही चीज़ें याद रही, ठीक है? There's another candidate who comes, okay, and he starts something like this. "Good afternoon, sir. My name is Aryan. 3 things that have influenced me in life are: 1, my tenure in the hostel taught me to be accountable and responsible. 2, playing cricket and football every day along with my classmates has inculcated teamwork in me. And 3rd thing, in my free time, I generally walk, and that's where I plan for my day. I'm a very planned person." Then he started talking about his graduation. What do you remember about this introduction now? How many points do you remember? How many points? 1, 2, 3. How many points? What was the difference in the first introduction and the second introduction? It was structured in numbers, literally in, and believe me, 3 में से उसको 2 points तो याद रहेगी पैनलिस्ट को. 3 में से कम 2 सुनने के बाद वो इंटरप्ट करेगा, जल्दी इंटरप्ट नहीं करेगा. So try to structure your introduction. And when this boy was structuring, what did he say? 3 things that have influenced me are, what did he play with? What did he play with? Curiosity and voice modulation. So in your introduction, what I see missing is voice modulation. Can we have a small demo on this now? Who would like to volunteer? Come. It's okay. Come to this girl. Sorry, I don't know your. Yeah. Use voice modulation. I want you to use two things in your introduction. One is structure and the second is voice modulation. Sure.
I have to give my introduction.
Yes. Take a pause, take a deep breath, and then go ahead.
So first of all, let me acknowledge the fact
Use
that-
the mic a little closer.
Let me acknowledge the fact that I just reframed my introduction while listening to the guidance that she gave. So, myself, Asma Chaudhary. There are three experiences which have shaped me so far. Number one is the challenges that my father faced in his business handling. Secondly, my struggle during civil services preparation. And third, at my workplace, as a general manager, I have faced various challenges while running this school. So all these challenges have shaped me, shaped my path. I realized the importance of organizational management that I would be studying in a B school. Therefore, I aspire to get into a top B school. Although it
All
wasn't-
right. Thank you.
I just reframed it now. I wasn't
Good.
prepared for
It's okay. It's okay. The point that we were discussing here. Did she structure? 1, 2, 3, anything. So she structured it quite well. So as far as impression goes, I'll give her full marks. But as far as the expectation setting goes, expectation setting, that means she has set my expectation that I should ask her questions on civil services, business. She's opening that. Are you okay if there is a cross questioning on those questions?
Yeah.
Yes. So expectation setting is very important along with doing both. Voice modulation still needs to work on. Rapport building, voice modulation. Just in the exam we used to underline important points. Here instead of underlining, raise your voice. Alright, moving to the next part. Facial expressions. I've been taking 2 interviews since morning here. The first candidate, no facial expression. Diya was still smiling. Diya was with me for the interview. She was still smiling. Please have that smiling face, not unnecessary smiling, but genuine smiling. It creates a rapport. Go as if you're going for a conversation. Don't go as if you're stressed under an exam.
How can somebody maintain his smile on his face when he is being guided by the...
That's what I say. Occasion wise, occasion. Yeah, if he's mocking at you, if he's smiling, he's mocking at you, don't make a sad face. Just relax. Just what the smile that you're doing now. Sorry, sir, I don't know. That's it. Don't laugh. Don't giggle.
What if the panelist is just trying to again and again and to take qualitative that you are
Huh?
how can you maintain the smile at that?
Smile in a sense, don't make a frowning face in this case. Be neutral. Okay? Yeah, sure. Just writing few more.
Next candidates who have to go for the interviews. In the three, Arushi, Harsh Gulati, Bhagat Singh, Vasu Gupta. Aditi, Piyush Vimal, Saraj, Shivani,
All right. So we discussed the importance of structuring, voice modulation, facial expressions, and building trust. That's something very important, building trust. Be honest, be confident, and in any case, avoid incorrect facts. Right? Let's move further. Yeah. Expectation setting. What do you mean by expectation setting? She set a lot of expectations for me. She went on talking about civil services, challenges in her father's business. What was the third one?
Doing my work.
Yeah, general manager in my work. Too much of expectation setting. If you are sure about it, you go ahead. Otherwise, keep it low profile. Keep it low profile. Alright? Otherwise, they are waiting for you to open the Pandora box where they can start firing at you. So be very, very careful about it. Let's move on. Will the video work? Will the video work? Let's watch a video and learn few things from the video. Yeah, let's have a look at it.
I'm pretty much, I won't that wholly, but partially I was involved with my father also in the business, in his business. So yeah, I have been to customers now on a regular basis, but I do understand the customers.
relation between? Thank you. Why I am bowing down to you and saying thank you? Because last 1 week, all the candidates were answering it's a relation between supply and demand. Law of demand में supply demand कहाँ से आ गया? ठीक है? Yeah, it's an inverse relation between. Is it a complete answer? Give me the complete definition of law of demand. Commerce students. What are other things? When we say other things remaining constant. Yeah, that's all the answer should have been, right? The answer should have been law of demand. Other things being constant, there's an inverse relation between price and demand. This guy goes further. So the demand curve has an x-axis and a y-axis. On x-axis this is put, on y-axis this is put. And there is a downward sloping curve. So the next question was, what is the kink in the curve? Do you know what it is? Even I don't know. What is the kink in the curve? Right? Yeah, but was it important for the student to talk about the graph? Or he should have just given the law of demand and stopped there? What he should have done? Just stop there. He got too emotional and he went on to explaining graph ऐसा होता है. His story did not end here. He further went on to answering, exception to law of demand are the Giffen goods. So obviously the next question would be example of Giffen goods. Why do you need to dig a grave for yourself? Can't you just keep your mouth shut and stop at law of demand unless the person asks you? So don't be too emotional and don't venture. Keep it to whatever is asked to you. Okay. Be to the point. Highlight only those areas where you're sure of cross questioning. Okay. For example, Diya, if I have your permission, may I use your example today? Diya said, I'm a BTech student and I've specialized in financial derivatives, basic financial derivatives. What kind of questions could come? Difference between finance and accounting. Basic financial terms. What is FDI? What is FII? Basic terms. Some she could answer, some she needs to work on. But in BTech student talking about financial management, the chances of her being cross questions would be very high. So you have to make a balance what to say and what not to say. Over here, Diya, you could have played smart. You could have said, we had this as an elective and I like that subject. That's it. Don't say that was my major or that is where my area of lies. Okay, keep it very brief. Though I have some inclination towards finance. That's it. Don't go into detail. Okay, admit what you know and what you don't know. Next. Let's focus on this slide now. How do you play smartly? How do you play smartly for setting expectations? Right? 3 scenarios can come here. The 3 scenarios are: 1, when you do not know the answer. Right? Let's take up an example. Young man, who was the chief guest yesterday for the Republic Day event? President, what was his name?
I don't remember the first name. The last one was Macron.
Yeah, in this case he knows the answer. What if you don't know the answer? What will you do? I don't know the answer.
Ma'am, I'll probably say that yesterday the chief guest was President of France, Mr. Macron.
If you know the answer, what is the question here? First scenario, when you do not know the answer. Right? Which cricketer has been, given lot of money for IPL, the highest bidder? If you know, you say. But if you don't know, Sorry, I'm not aware. That is one way you can play smartly. One way. Be honest and say, I do not know the answer. Okay? The other way of this could be probably slightly diverting. Let's say your hobby. What are your hobbies? Anyone? What are your hobbies? Yeah. Your hobby is to play badminton. Alright. Can you tell me, is there a what do you call as who is the coach of Indian badminton team? Sorry, I don't know. Yeah? Or how can he play smartly? How can he play smartly?
I'm not able to recall right now.
I'm not able to recall right now. Or can you change the tangent?
India coach is like this. I am aware that the coach of Indian badminton team was Mr. Gopichand. However, I am not sure that he is the current coach of India.
Yeah. So one way of handling, one, be honest, say I don't know, right now I do not recall, or stand up and tell everybody. What is the other way of doing it?
I am aware that the coach of Indian badminton team was Mr. Gopichand. However, I am not sure that he is currently serving the same position or not.
Slightly change the strategy. Past के बारे में पता है, बता दो. अभी के बारे में पता है, नहीं. Got an idea?
So that I enjoy playing the game, however, I do not follow badminton as a sport. If you could say that.
Follow and play is what? Don't you watch matches?
I don't think India follows badminton. I just love playing badminton.
So what are you saying? Sorry sir, I do not know. Or you can slightly divert it, and if you know some past coach, you can name, otherwise you can just say, sorry sir, I don't know. Alright, moving on to the next strategy now. When you know the answer, should you answer or you should not answer? You should answer, but expectation setting. Don't go on drawing the graph. Remember that example. If you're asked something, just stick to it. Okay, don't go on elaborating beyond a particular point. The student was asked, how many commerce and BBA students sitting here? Raise your hands. Commerce and BBA. Okay, engineering students? Few of them. I'll tell you, this candidate was asked a question on what are Giffen goods. Giffen goods are, they do not follow the law of demand. Example, diamonds. Yeah? Poor quality food grains, jawar, bajra. Right? If the price decreases, the purchase of this also, they consider it as exception. Yes. Prestige. Yes. Yes, they are there. Give me few more examples of Giffen goods. They do not follow the law of demand. Alright. So this boy was asked this question, can you name few? What are Giffen goods? What do you think his answer should have been? Giffen goods are blah blah blah. Example, this. To the point, what this boy does, as per, and he starts the answer like, as per NCERT books, the definition given by so and so for Giffen goods is this. Example, poor quality bajra, blah 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 blah. What is he doing? Expectation setting is? So the first questioning was, what does non-NCERT books say? Yeah? So be very careful on when you know the answer, to what extent you should answer and to what extent you should not answer. Okay? Moving to the next one, the next strategy. No, sorry. No, that previous slide only. Yeah, previous slide. एक सेकेंड All right. Now moving on to the third situation. The same second situation when you know the answer. When you know the answer, be to the point. And when you know the answer and still you should avoid speaking on it. Still you should avoid speaking on it. What kind of topics you think you should reserve yourself? Cross-questioning or ethics or moral related question. So this boy was asked the question on So this boy was asked the question on what are ethics and what are morals? Anybody here who could answer this? What are ethics, what are morals? Come. Yeah. He knows the answer. He is going to answer it. What are ethics, what are morals?
Morals are a set of principles that a person themselves sets for themselves. Ethics is an institutionalized, formalized study of morals where it's something that's true for everyone, something that's everyone should be doing. Morals can be variable depending on a person's own life experience and personality.
Okay. Give me an example of morals and ethics.
Alright. A simple case of moral would be that, let's say for example, there is a person who is a thief and he breaks into a rich person's house and steals something. So your personal morals might say that, okay, this person was wrong, he should be punished. But overall, in ethics, you would look at what society does. Like, why is this person a thief? Why did they become a thief? How do you solve this problem on a large scale?
Example of ethics.
Right. So in this case, for ethics, you would say that, let's say the judge is judging this person. So they would say, okay, fine, this person has extenuating circumstances. So in this case, you would not punish this person as a pure criminal with malicious intent. You would take his circumstances into account and give a lesser community punishment or something like that.
Okay. Are we all there? Okay. Can you give me an example in politics? In politics, where a particular situation can both be morally correct and ethically correct, or morally wrong and ethically wrong. One situation which is playing interdisciplinary here, with an example. Now what should he do? Should he answer or should he not answer? Let's see, we don't know, let's stick here, what will you do?
No example is coming to mind right now.
Are you getting it? Thank you. Thank you. Well done. So now did you see? A very common question was asked. The question was ethics versus morals. Play safe. Give a very simple definition. Asking you an example, simple thief example is okay. But the panelist was smart. The panelist tried to corner him and saying, give me one particular example in politics. He may have that example. He may have it. Should he go ahead or no? No. Because the conversation will then go in the very different direction, which again, not recommended. So you should know when to stop. But this boy who was asked the same question, he took 2 minutes to think about it and he started talking something in the constitution. And the direction from MBA interview went to some UPSC interview constitution. So expectation setting गलत हो गई. यहाँ पे expectation setting बड़ी ठीक थी. Sorry, and no example is coming to my mind right now. Basic concept पता है, that's more than important. Everybody got an idea? When to speak, when not to speak? Alright, so when should you answer? When you are confident, when you have supporting examples. When you should not answer? When it will probably corner you in politics, religion, ask you to take a stand. Just keep yourself reserved over there, even if you're tempted to answer. I remember during my MBA interview 25 years ago, they asked me, are you in support of reservation? Caste reservation. 25 years ago. Yeah, nobody taught me then. And I said, of course, reservation should not be there. Everything should be based on merit. The moment I got out, I get to know the panelists were under reservation category. So, I should have, my answer should have been diplomatic. Diplomatic. We have to, so answer could have been, we need to take into account various parameters, the economic condition, the situation, the opportunities available, because when the reservation system started in India, the circumstances were very different. At that moment it was required, but at this moment, since India is developing, I think based on merit makes a better parameter. However, it should be considered looking at the geographical, history, other aspects of it. Don't come to a concrete answer there. Yeah? All right, last just 1-2 points I have to share with you. So some of the phrases like, when you know the answer 50-50, 50-50 you know the answer. For example, I ask you, what is India's GDP growth rate? Around 7%? Around 6%? If you're not sure, now what's happening here? Are you sure or 50-50? In case of 50-50, what will you do? In case of 50-50, you know the answer, what will you do?
I'm not sure, but I can take a guess.
Yes. Okay? Your strategy should be, either you can say, sorry sir, it's not coming to my mind, can I make a guess? The moment you say, can I make a guess, means what are you doing? What are you doing? Expectation setting. कि भाई इससे ज़्यादा expect नहीं करना है, वो बेचारा खुद ही बोल रहा है, guess करूँ क्या, मुझे नहीं आ रहा है. Expectation setting. Be very clear. Sorry sir, it's not coming to my mind. Take a moment. Can I make a guess? However, may I make a guess? You can use this phrase. If you don't know, say, sorry sir, I do not know. That's how you can handle questions on 50-50. So you can use phrases like, I'm not sure about it. Okay? Or you can buy time. You can say, suppose there was a question on, like this boy was asked, how many villages are there in India? How many villages? You may not know the exact number. You can say, sir, I do not know the exact number, but if I had to count, I will use this approach. If you know the approach, you can give. In Gestimates, you all have done that, right? You all are asked, how many Ola cabs are there in Chandigarh? Do you know the exact number? But what will you do? What will you do? Educated guess or approach. Some approach. If there are, total these many vehicles, out of this we assume 1/4 are commercial vehicles, 1/4 are this. Give your approach, give your line of thinking. Don't give a vague figure. Are we okay with this? Yeah. So, okay. Very important, self-evaluation. All of you are going to have mock interviews today. Come out, evaluate yourself. Whether you were setting over expectation, under expectation, and what was the impression that you were giving. Yeah? Dia came to me for an interview and I was constantly telling her, I think you need work experience of 2 years. I think you need work experience of 2 years. I told you once, before you jump to MBA. Why? Because the impression that I was getting was she is still naive. She still doesn't understand the practical aspects, but as a panelist I was just trying to corner her. So she should have said that expectation, no, in spite of being a fresher, I'm open to learning. I bring in fresh perspectives and I'm very confident that I'll pick up things. That sets a different impression altogether. So take care of these two things. You're going about it. Okay? Please introspect, reflect after you come back from your interviews and see where things are going right or where things are going wrong. Okay? Videos, sorry, are not playing. I'll share the videos with you later. Okay? Just to summarize the whole session, A quick summary. What are the two things which can help you succeed? Impression and expectation setting. Right? What all goes in impression management? Only voice modulation? Your grooming, appearance, body language, communication. Clear, structured, confident, and voice modulation. Okay? What goes in SMART techniques? What are the 3 SMART techniques we did? When you know the answer? When you know the answer, what do you say? Present your answer, but structure it. Be to the point. Second, when you don't know the answer, what do you say? Avoid answering, or may I take a guess? Or you can divert on a different tangent. And if you know the answer, is it necessary to answer always? No. You should decide when to stop. Okay? So that's it for this session. Videos, we'll show it to you when you are back in Chandigarh campus. Thank you.